Start up the last little bit of today's stream, which shouldn't be long. After long years of estrangement, Ishkar rejoins her sister nations in the Alliance. Words cannot well express my joy. None of this would have been possible without you, my friend. Change is coming to Eorzea, though it will inevitably bring with it a measure of upheaval. With hard work, peace and prosperity are sure to follow. And yet, even as we look forward to the coming of a new age, we must needs be wary of old threats. The lords of Garlemald have not relinquished their claim upon Eorzea, and we shall be forced to contend with them again ere long. And then there is the matter of our comrade Estinian, claimed body and soul by Nidhogg. If there is a way to rescue him, we must find it. Suffice it to say, the path ahead holds no shortage of challenges, but together we shall overcome them. Alright, I'm not going to pick up the next one. I'll do that next week. Let's see if that gives me a title, though. I don't remember if it does or not. I think it does. It does. We can add it. The End of Ascalon. There we go. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to exit the house here, and we're going to teleport to, I believe... We're going to go to Idleshire, where Piamet is going to lend us her voice talent expertise. So here we are. There's lots of stuff to unlock, but we're not going to worry about any of that right now. We'll do those as we get around to it. For now, we're going to share our screen. There we go. Let me know when you can see that.
I can see it.
Cool. Alright, so we're going to talk to Rowena in her poncho. An unexpected proposal. Rowena is planning a trip to Revenant's Toll.
Not voiced.
Nope.
Good morning to you, Miro. Something on your mind? I've been called back to Revenant's Toll to take care of any shipment of wares, but if you have matters of money that require my attention. With that thought, it seems I have visitors, some more welcome than others.
You can be the dubious youth.
What? That's a guy.
Yeah, but he's very feminine.
Pardon the intrusion, Miss Rowena. I realize I was here only a few days ago, but I really must speak to you about...
Good, you're still here. We need to talk about the promissory note. Now, I know what you're thinking, that stinking sack of goo-boo shit ain't got me goddamn money. Well, you're wrong. I saved it up, every last gill. The thing is, me mates took me out for a drink to celebrate, and...
Excuse me, sir, but when people are talking, it is generally considered rude to interrupt. I know not what manner of business you have with Rowena, but I am quite sure it can wait. As I was saying, Mistress Rowena, have you perchance been able to arrange a meeting with your associates? There's much I would ask them about their work on arcane centuries.
Hold on a bleeding minute. You are telling me to wait? Didn't no one ever teach you to shut your gob when grown-ups are talking? Me life and, more importantly, me note at the tavern's at stake here. Now, be a good lad and bugger off till Uncle Geralt's had his stay.
Geralt, mind your own advice for once and keep quiet. I'll deal with you soon enough. Regarding your question, Ardeshir, the answer is no. The client I had in mind's a bit of a recluse and stubborn as all hells in her old age. She wouldn't hear of any meeting, and I ain't got time to press her on it at the moment. Too much to do by half.
Sounds like you got enough on your own plate without having to worry yourself over an old mate's Owens. I tell you what, let's forget about it for...
I know not what hole you have drunken yourself into, sir, and quite frankly, I do not care. I have important business to discuss with Mistress Rowena, and I demand you leave us be this instant.
Bah, the youth of today! Jumped up, self-serving little shites, the lot of you! Fine, tell us then, your highness. What's this business of yours that's more important than a man's life, eh? Out with it!
Very well, if only to explain myself to Rowena. Together with my master, I have been conducting research into the manipulation of spiritual and etheric energies in what you call the Near East. Our work has shown that the soul is in fact an agglomeration of a specific type of force. This force defines the quiddity of man and makes us who we are. While the soul is indeed inimitable, we believe it possible to create a quasi-soul. Thus we turned our attention to Anima, the self-same force which allows individuals to traverse the life stream via etherites. By infusing a soul stone with the requisite quantities of ether, this force may be harnessed. Yet after years of research and experimentation, we have naught to show for it but inert husks of stone. We repeated the process again and again, adjusting every element, but the result was always the same. At length my master declared the project a failure, and turned his thoughts to other matters. But I could not give up, not after witnessing the beauty of Anima, not after coming so close, and that is why I've journeyed hither to Rioza. I am certain that with the Charlatan's knowledge of arcane centuries, I can complete my project. I am also certain that the resultant souls will be worth more to mankind than the ale-soaked dish cloud that passes for yours.
Finished, have you? Well then, allow me to retort. Seems to me you're a cocked little brass that speaks a whole lot saying aught. You're like a man of learning when 'tis plain you're just a boy that's never had a thought of his own. And couldn't even if he tried. Not that you ever would, of course. And why? 'Cause the youth of today can't be bothered to do an ounce of honest work for themselves. No sense of duty. Things get rough and you run for help, leaving a trail of piss in your wake. Do you reckon them scholarly folks from Charlatan asked for the answer whenever they got stuck? Not bloody likely, 'cause they used their bloody brains. Tain't even that hard. If I saw these soul things burning out too quick, I'd think about sealing them inside something strong, like a weapon maybe, to keep them all of that life from escaping. It'd cost me a bit of freedom, but it'd keep them around for a damn sight longer than you managed. What's more, if the bloody things really are alive, like you say, you'd end up with a weapon that could think for itself, which could be a bloody lethal in the right hands. What do you say to that, you preening little shite?
An animal weapon? That is absolutely genius. A means not only to preserve created anima, but to employ it. Anima weapons, eh? Aye, that's all. Quite an interesting proposition, Gerald. One that could be quite lucrative. Why not help poor Ardashir here with his work and see what you can make of it?
Help that spineless streak of piss? You're joking, ain't you? Why in the seven hells should I play nursemaid to a wide-eyed brat like him? I was just spouting shite. I didn't really mean none of it.
Is that right? Pity. Sounded like something we could have made a good bit of coin out of. Enough to make me forget your debts, like as not. Your debts that I won't be forgetting otherwise. Changed your mind? Good. Listen, Ardashir, he may be a drunken bloody fool, but he's also the finest blacksmith in all the realm. If anyone can forge a weapon capable of holding your souls, it's him. And our adventuring friend here, my dear sweet Miro, is a well-known hero around these parts. I'm sure she'd love nothing more than to try out your new weapon when it's finished, ain't that right? Just think of it. You'd be the first in all of Eorzea to wield one of these Anima weapons. Which ain't a bad name now that I come to think of it, Anima weapon. Aye, that'll do. Now, don't be so hasty, Miro. This here is fate. What else could have brought the three of you to me at the self-same time? And don't go telling me the thought of a weapon that learns and adapts to combat don't interest you, because we both know it does. Gerald, was it? Pray forgive me my rudeness earlier. If you truly are the smith she claims, I would be honored to have your assistance. And you, Miro, I gather you are the perfect candidate to test the weapon once it's complete.
Well, if this'll get me square with Rowena, then I suppose me hammer's yours. But don't think I'm getting roped into this alone. If I have to forge it, you have to wield it.
Thank you, both of you. I promise you will not regret this. Nice to see you're all getting on. Now you're going to need a place to work, and I know just the spot. As is law, the seat of elegant science floating on high over Abelatha's spine. Not that the equipment up there will be any use to you, mind. Only the 12 know how that stuff works. Still, it'll keep prying eyes away until the weapon's ready. I'll arrange for an airship to take you within the day. The fabled Oz's Law. I look forward to seeing you there, Miro. Today has proven to be more productive than I thought. Gerald's out of my hair, and soon I'll have new merchandise for the House of Splendors. Assuming this ridiculous plan of his works. I'm counting on you, Miro.
What I want to know is, how does she know about Az's Law? Like, yes, she would have heard about it, but
She knows everything.
there's just no reason to go there. Well, presumably there'd be no reason to go there. I guess she does deal in elegant tomestones.
That is true.
We're gonna teleport to Az's Law. Okay, there we are. And then we're gonna run over to where Darshir and them are hanging out. They're not far from the Aetherite. They actually hang out right by it.
Mm.
Darshir looks like he belongs in Sweeney Todd.
The fabled Oz's Law. I've heard stories, but who would believe such a technological marvel could exist? And floating in the sky at that. If only my master could see me now. But this is not the time for gawping. Come, let us begin our work on the Anima weapon.
Okay. It's only Anima weapon. A new saga begins. Mira. Okay, so the first quest we can do with him, Soul Without Life. Please note that upon completing the quest Soul Without Life, you will receive an Anima weapon for a monk. Wait, no, I wanted it as a monk. That is what I wanted to do. There we go. Soul Without Life. We're going to be getting an animated Rising Suns. This is where we're going to stop once we get this weapon. You may go.
Oh, I take it you're ready to proceed. Excellent. Gerald has already begun work on the weapon that will serve to contain the Anima. The difficulty lies in sustaining the thing long enough for the transfer to take place. But with the appropriate stabilizing materials, I believe it should be possible, provided we act quickly. I have brought several soul stones with me, so you needn't worry about that. I shall see that one is fitted to your weapon. The only needful things I do not currently possess are crystals capable of handling the quantities of ether required for our work. To be specific, we will need astral and umbral nodules. Would that we were working at Radatan. I knew of a merchant there who sold them. Costly they were. I was never wanting for supplies. Perhaps Mistress Rowena would know of someone willing to trade. Might you be willing to speak with her on my behalf? No doubt, whoever she refers you to will not part with them readily, but I trust you will be able to come to some manner of arrangement. In the meantime, Geralt and I will finish preparations for the Anima weapon. Safe travels, friend.
Alright, we gotta go to Revenant's Toll to speak with Rowena. Fortunately, the hard part of this step, I get to skip. Because I took the time and did the Zodiac Weapon quest back during the 2.0 stuff, if you recall. But because I did that, the game acknowledges that all that hard work and is like, hey, you can turn that weapon into something else. Which I'm going to show you here in just a moment once Piamet lends us our voice talents for Rowena. Rowena's House of Splendors. Here she is.
Well, if it isn't my favorite adventure, how's that Anima weapon coming along? Astral and umbral nodules. Might be as certainly we'll have what you're after. She's a jeweler by trade, but her work with crystals is something to behold, let me tell you. They say she can strip 'em of elements, charge 'em with new ones, even make 'em out of thin air. If you can believe such a thing. Can't vouch for the rumors myself, but her prophets say plenty. She can be a bit picky about plants, but she be beating the warrior light and all. I'm sure your sparkling reputation will catch her eye like the crystal she's so fond of. If you go upstairs, you'll find her out on the terrace.
Awesome. So let's go speak to Sindani. Fledgling Dota is still here.
Nice.
Here she is.
Ah, the Warrior of Light. What a pleasant surprise. No need to be alarmed, my dear. It is my business to know all of Eorzea's treasures, be they material or mortal. But tell me, to what do I owe the pleasure? Astral and umbral nodules, my. I see you're a woman of unusual tastes. Might I ask what you plan to do with such curious crystals? An essence akin to the soul. I suppose such peculiar work would call for crystals as equally peculiar. Well, you were wise to seek me out. I have dedicated my life to the study of crystals, and I cannot bear the thought of knowing there are crystals I could not procure. Mind you, these are no mere baubles or trinkets you ask of me. Crystals of such purity are not easily come by, but to also be so rich in astral and umbral aspected energies. Still, with the proper materials, I believe it can be done. It will require a great deal of ether, obviously, and of a specific persuasion. I am informed that when a man falls in battle, residual energy hangs in the ether long after his spirit has returned to the life stream. This energy can infuse crystals in the vicinity with a purity not often seen in nature, a purity essential to what you desire. I can use these crystals, luminous crystals I call them, to imbue empty ones with the astral and umbral energies necessary to create what you seek. But I will require one crystal of every element. They will not be easy to come by, of that I can assure you. You will likely have to scour every ilm of yours yet to find them. However, there may be one other way to acquire the other we need. We require something of the rarest sort, something much more precious than luminous crystals. As I mentioned before, it is my business to know all of Eorzea's treasures, and if the rumors are true, there exist certain weapons of legend said to have supped on the souls of countless enemies. In fact, a certain great hero who wields one of these weapons is supposedly working with a young researcher somewhere beyond the Sea of Clouds. Though this is only what I have heard. I will not hold you to ransom on the strength of mere hearsay. Even so, the rumors of these weapons are not so easily dismissed. Embodiments of war, veritable reservoirs of soul energy. If you were in possession of such a weapon, creating these astral and umbral nodules would come and be a child's play. Or you could simply collect the requisite luminous crystals. I will assist you all the same. I leave the choice in your famously capable hands.
Players who possess the Zodiac weapon Zeta may exchange it for both the Astral and Umbral nodules. Excalibur Zeta must be exchanged together with the Aegis Shield Zeta. Please note, however, that the Zodiac weapon Zeta will be lost upon completing the exchange. Alternatively, players may acquire the Astral and Umbral nodules in exchange for elementally aspected luminous crystals. These crystals may be obtained, albeit at a low probability, by participating in fates in certain areas. Luminous wind crystals may be obtained from fates in Sea of Clouds, fire from Az's Law, lightning crystals from Churning Mists, ice from Korth's Western Highlands, and earth from Dravanian Forelands, and water from Dravanian and Hinterlands. Players will receive the Astral Nodule in exchange for luminous wind, fire, and lightning. Players receive Umbral for ice, fire, earth, and water. Luminous crystals may be changed, albeit at a low probability. Okay, you already said that. This information can be reviewed. Okay. So naturally, because I already had the Zeta weapon,
I have devoted my life to treasures that glitter and gleam. If you would have crystals that truly shine, you know what I require.
offer a Zodiac weapon Zeta.
Ah, so the rumors were true. You possess a Zodiac weapon. Never in all my years have I had the privilege of working with something so precious. Fueled by countless souls and shaped by the strength of your own, will make a fine pair of astral and umbral nodules. However, I must warn you, this process will consume the Zodiac weapon completely, both body and soul. You will have your crystals, but this will mark the end of your weapon and its legendary title.
Please be warned that your Zodiac weapon will be lost should you choose to proceed. Yeah, that's fine. Its tail will go on as an Anima weapon. It's warned you like 40 times that this is going to consume it.
Exquisite. Simply exquisite. Never have I seen such concentrations of pure ether in so lovely a frame. The life energy is palpable. Yes, with this I have all I need to infuse crystals with the energies of light and dark. Behold! The astral and umbral energies that once dwelled within your weapon have been made manifest. Nodules of the purest ether.
Harnessing the soul of the pair of Kaiser Knuckles Zeta, Sidoni has crafted astral umbral nodules. Excellent. Let's bring these to Adashir. And as is law. Okay, so we're going to be jumping up from a item level 148 weapon to a 170.
Welcome back, Miro. Were you able to acquire what we need?
Indeed. Astral nodule, a crystalline amalgamation of astrally charged crystals. And a crystalline amalgamation of umbrally charged crystals for the umbral nodule. That's a cool looking sprite or image.
Yes, these appear to be genuine. I dare not ask what this cost you, but you have my sincerest thanks. As promised, the Soul Stone is ready. All that remains now is the ether infusion. And if the weapon Gerald has forged is strong enough to contain the resulting anima, we shall soon be the proud parents of a living weapon. Now then, let us begin. The ether has taken hold in the Soul Stone, but it will not last long. Quickly, Gerald, seal it within the weapon before the ether fades.
That should do it. That thing ain't going nowhere. Now that there's a weapon worthy of legends. Aye, an Anima weapon. Pair of animated rising suns. Wield it with pride, lass. Though I wouldn't say she's finished article just yet. A weapon fresh from the forge is one thing, but if it's life we're talking about, she's not but a suckling babe. She wants putting through her paces and toughening up. I could pound it with me hammer, of course, but that ain't no substitute for real battle. If you ask me, you're gonna need to get out there and teach that Anima what it means to be a warrior. That's you, Pac-Man.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me, Gerald, but might I have a word with our friend here? It was, after all, my research that brought us this far. Come, Miro, let us discuss the next step in developing the Anima.
Alright, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick up the next quest, and that's where we'll be done.
Extra long stream.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to go this long, but I wanted to get this started. Alright, this one's called Toughening Up. I gotta actually equip them, I think. Okay, hang on.
Probably.
Yeah. Please note that upon completing the quest Toughening Up, you'll receive an Anima weapon for a monk. Yes. Adasha seems curious to see how the animal will develop. For doing this, we'll be getting Rising Suns Awoken, which takes it from item level 170 to 200. That's a pretty big bonus.
So, Miro, the task of unlocking the Anima's potential begins in earnest. I only wish I could offer some words of wisdom on the subject. Alas, my original studies only went so far as the Anima's creation. Now that we've given it a body and your weapon, I'm afraid we are entering unfamiliar territory. As of now, the Anima is not unlike a newborn babe. A lack of proper sensory stimulation could well cause it to stagnate or even disappear despite the measures we have taken. As such, it is imperative that we help it to mature and grow accustomed to its new form.
Aye, and there ain't no better place to test a weapon than out on the front line. And seeing as you're rarely off the front line, it should take you long to whip that thing into shape.
Mayhap this is why my own trials always ended in failure. Without a proper body, the Anima had no purpose. It could not be put to a task which would grant it the requisite stimulation. If you are all Mistress Rowena claims you to be, I have no doubt you will find a suitable challenge for our young charge.
If you're not sure where to go, just think back on some of your more bowel-loosening adventures. Let's stroll through some of the few dark, dank holes you've lot like, say, 10 or so, and I bet me next round of Druthers, your weapon will have got into full swing of things.
If it is not too much trouble, I should very much like to accompany you on your adventures. As I said before, this is uncharted territory in the growth of Anima, and I would be a disgrace to my profession if I let any developments pass unreported. My thanks, Miro. For my part, I promise to stay out of one's way, observing your progress from as safe a vantage point as possible.
That thing's like to need a few tweaks when you come back, but you leave that to me. I'll work out any faults you find in her, and pound her into a weapon worthy of the House of Splendors. Alright. So that should be that. I think he should have... yeah. Alright, everyone. So that's going to be the end of today's stream. I will be back later after 9:30 p.m. I don't have an exact start time. It just depends on when I get home from the gym. For Dragon Quest Heroes 2, thank you, Miro, for joining in and completing off the story for me and not being a crappy character. And we got our new weapons. Look at that.
You're thanking Miro?
Miro deserves thank.
That's you.
And thanks, PMAT, for lending your voice talent access. There we go.
I try.
Look forward to the few coming weeks because PMAT's going to be working with me on some more things for my channel as well. I hope to show those off to you soon. Thanks, everyone. See you later tonight. Sorry for the camera spinning.